before going through my explanation, do you know anything about this movie?
Okay, I guess it's my cue. You've got this Lockhart character, played by Dane DeHaan, unexpectedly summoned by the company's executive leadership, if I recall it correctly. If memory serves, he initially interprets the meeting as a career-advancing opportunity.
Yes.
However, the meeting reveals a stark reversal of expectations.
Yes.
Because the board uncover evidence of his involvement in unethical and fraudulent financial practices?
Yeah, go on.
Hold on, let me remember. Rather than pursuing legal actions, the executives, I guess, leveraged the discovery to coerce Dan DeHaan into compliance. Well, his character.
Keep going.
Dane has to pin the blame to someone else, but that someone else isn't there.
I'm getting a lady boner.
The target is located in Germany. No, in the Swiss Alps. So Dane DeHaan has to find him. So, Lily, there is no connection here.
You're doing good so far.
I don't see it.
Okay, let me help you out. Senior member of the board, hiding in the Swiss Alps. Were there mountains in Inception? Of course there were. Discount DiCaprio, played by Dane DeHaan, has to convince this very important person to change his mind so that Dane can split his money with his corrupt executors.
Okay.
Dane DeHaan got into this mess because he did something illegal. This one last job is supposed to rectify his deeds. Are you still following me?
So far, yes.
Once he's in the train, without a doubt, we can all assume that he's in a dream world. And get this, Eric, he even has a totem.
What?
Oh, I'm not kidding. For those of you still watching, the totem in the Inception world is a personal object that a dreamer always has with him, as a reminder of what's real and what isn't.
Okay, I'm curious. What is it?
The ballerina toy given by his mother. I had left you speechless, didn't I? Don't get a hard on yet because it gets better.
Jesus, Lily.
After our main character leaves the station and pops into the vehicle, meant to drive into the mountains, his laptop stops working. That's when we get a flashback of him spending time with his mother at an elderly home. His mother keeps herself occupied with the calming and almost meditative task of painting ballerina figurines. And she says to his son, "How long will you be gone?" Dane DeHaan says, "Just a few days, it's business." Then the mother adds, "You don't look well." Dane DeHaan replies, "I'm fine, I haven't been sleeping much."
Are you making this up?
It's in the movie. You just hate it so much that you cannot see past your nipples.
Hey, don't insult me.
We are told that our main character's father ended his own life by jumping off a bridge when Dane DeHaan was just a kid. Dane witnessed it from the back seat of his car. It was raining.
I remember that.
Bridge, raining, jumping off because reality is too much. Doesn't it feel familiar?
Lily, that's not...
I have more to say. His mother painted the ballerina figurine with her eyes closed. Closed eyes, because the ballerina lives in a dream and, quote, she doesn't know that she's dreaming. We see Dane holding the toy and spinning it around while deeply reflecting on the memory of his mother. That's the only time we know that he's aware of the dream world he's in.
And the patients and the villagers, they're just projections.
Now you're getting it. Pembroke, the executive from his company, is the equivalent of Robert Fisher from the Inception movie.
Right.
At 16 minutes and 23 seconds into the film, Dane DeHaan glimpses at his watch ticking.
When?
When facing the receptionist to retrieve Pembroke. We, the audience, assume that it's dream level 1. The receptionist refuses to give our main character access to Pembroke's hotel room. With discontent, he walks out and faces the front yard to get better sales reception. Dane DeHaan overhears an elderly woman playing a word game with her friends, and she is struggling to find a synonym for amnesty. Dane says out loud, absolution, which is another word for forgiveness. Surprise, surprise, we later find out in a movie that her mother died alone, and we also discover that he never forgave himself.
The same way that DiCaprio never forgave himself for the death of his wife in Inception.
Ooh, the bells are ringing.
I'm still not convinced you'll arrive to a solid conclusion because...
So Dane DeHaan fails his mission and wishes to make an outside call. In other words, he wants to wake up. Now, Eric, I'm not teaching you anything new here. What are the ways to wake up in Inception?
Well, the first one is the timer. If the timer runs out, then you wake up. Then there's falling from a rush of anxiety. And the last one is death, of course.
That is correct. Dane enters the vehicle and exits the property. Now, for me, the driver is the equivalent of Yusuf from the Inception movie.
Okay.
Yusuf, if you remember, is the expert character, very well informed with the chemical doses for the dream levels. Do not forget that Yusuf drove the van off the bridge.
Right.
So, it's only fair that the driver would do the same with attempted murder. The car hits the deer and all hell breaks loose. The car flies into the air, collision. But guess what?
What? Tell me.
Dane DeHaan doesn't wake up. At the 27 mark into the movie, Dane DeHaan grabbed his watch on the hospital bed and it stopped ticking right afterwards. What do you gather from that?
He's in the second level.
It feels good, doesn't it? When you see it my way.
No.
No means yes to me. At the 32-minute mark, this Count DiCaprio walks into a maze-like sauna chamber.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They did this incredible cinematic trick, fooling us into believing there was never a pathway. I still don't know how they did that, by the way.
Aha! In the context of my theory, the dream is changing.
What about Hannah, played by Mia Goth?
I'm guessing that. Dane DeHaan meets Mia Goth's character, Hannah. She's this young patient there who supposedly never left the castle.
What do you mean, supposedly?
Well, for someone who has never left the castle, she's surprisingly at ease with a protagonist her own age. After all, she spent her entire life surrounded, almost exclusively by elderly people.
And that's a red flag for you.
I would be nervous in her shoes. But she's very calm and relaxed. Moving on. Let's get to the key details. What makes it feel mostly like Inception to me until the conclusion arrives. Every attempt to steal Pembroke from the projections. Every plan Dane DeHaan executes to make him change his mind fails. Not to mention the fact that he stole confidential files, the same way DiCaprio did with Sato. This character gets imprisoned, tortured, and brainwashed.
Right, okay.
Highlight moment? All of this started when he gave his totem to Hannah in exchange for a bike ride. And in the Inception world, you give away your totem, you give away your grasp upon reality.
Huh.
It's only when Hannah returns the ballerina to him that he finally reconnects with his objective.
Oh, okay.
This time, Hannah even painted a toy with her eyes open. Symbolism.
Jesus. How did he even...
Hannah also said to him near the end of the movie, "You made me believe we could leave one day."
But the castle burns down.
Yes, along with Pembroke and the projections.
Lily, don't tell me that Pembroke was Hannah all along. That'll be a hard pill to swallow.
I'll be swallowing something else later on.
Ugh, come on.
No. The answer's no. What do you take me for? Here's how everything comes together at the end, Eric. The executive of the board show up with the driver. Remember driver, the exit point? They're in the dream, right? In the dream concept of a cure for wellness. They decided their presence was important to reinforce the objective of retrieving Pembroke. Dane DeHaan rejects the directives and leaves with Hannah. Why? Why, Eric? Anytime you feel ready.
Because he prefers to stay in a dream than facing reality?
Wrong! Wrong. He wants to wake up, and this time he knows how.
No.
Eric, did you forget something? The car crash didn't work. We can throw that option up the window. Previously, Hannah driving him away from the castle didn't work either. However, driving himself outside of the castle with Hannah, with his totem, will definitely work.
Well, huh?
Yeah.
Then who's Hannah then?
Hannah is one of Pembroke's projections with all the company's secrets. The senior members of the company sent Dane DeHaan on a wild goose chase to find Pembroke in his disturbed mind, filled with horror references and gruesome settings. Anyway, Dane DeHaan wasn't the first test subject to fail. He was, however, smart enough to recognize what they were looking for. Disguised as a young woman, being a distraction and yet holding all the secrets of the company.
Sure.
Hannah is the company's secrets, and when Dane DeHaan wakes up, he will have the keys to the kingdom. They mentioned it in the beginning of the movie. The company merger they were about to witness will make them millionaires. Hence the evil smile that Dane DeHaan has at the end of the movie. For me, that's a 5 out of 5 scary bedrooms.
to do.